All right, guys, before we begin, quick thank you to our sponsor, Jocko Go. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If this is your first time, my name is Chase Maddox. I'm co-creator of Jazz Memes with my brother Kevin. In this lesson, I'm going to be teaching you guys a little bit about walking bass lines on jazz guitar. We're going to do it over an F blues. This is for anyone who is a recovering bass player or just wants to get a little bit more knowledge on things to comp and play over an F blues beyond just your standard drop 2s and 3s. So this is a fun one to dive into. It'll give you a lot more knowledge on bass lines, and it's a great one to focus on as a guitarist. So we'll get right into it. I'm going to break down each line. We'll do it in 4-measure sections. There is a PDF for this one, which you guys can download below. All right, so let's start off with that first phrase. So I'm basing this on a bass line for F, G, A, C to B flat. One of the first bass lines bass players will learn. And what I'm doing is we're starting off on F7 to establish that harmony. And I'm harmonizing this with an E flat over G chord. So I'm staying within that key for F7. And then thinking of that bass line to harmonize and what chord I can put on top of that. So if it's the second, usually this E flat over G shape works. And then we can shift that up to F over A. And for the fifth, I'm harmonizing this with, and you could think of this as C diminished, or you could think of this as the 3rd and 7th of F7. And instead of playing the root F, I'm playing the 5th C. So that gives this into B flat 7. For B flat 7, my bass line is B flat to D, A flat to G flat to F. And then the way I'm harmonizing that is we have B flat 7. This is a different version for B flat 7. We have D, A flat, and C into A flat diminished. And then G flat 7 chromatically approaching F7. That's a common one, especially in the way I voiced it for this lesson. We're going to do a lot of chromaticism to slide in with our bass line. So again, that phrase, we have B flat 7, B flat 7, A flat diminished, G flat 7 into F7. All right, so this next part I purposely included so it's a different version of the first phrase we had. And so this is F7, and now instead of E flat over G, I'm going to do G minor. It's another way we can harmonize this G, and we can do A minor, and we're leading up G minor in between A minor, we're going to do an A flat diminished. So we have F7, G minor, A flat diminished, A minor. And then from here, this is that part on the F blues, that 4th measure, where we'd have a 2-5, C minor, F7 into B flat 7. So to lead into that, C minor, that same chromatic approach we had before of G flat 7 into F7, and then B7 into B flat 7. So that, I'll play our first 4 measures. You guys can play along or follow along with the PDF. So we'd have all right, now let's talk about this B flat 7 part. So once we get here, I'm using a lot of these open voicings. So I'm going B flat 7, B flat over D, and B flat over F. You guys want me to do a lesson on open chord voicings like this? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, starting with B flat 7, B flat over D and F, and then E7 into E flat 7. Bassline wise, that's just a 1, 3, 5, chromaticism into the E flat. Try and hear for this bass line as I play the chords over it. We're used to hearing the melodies and really focusing on that, but it can help to listen specifically to the bass notes and kind of change the way we perceive that. So going in from that, so we have, now this measure, a lot of people will play it as B diminished. You could also play it like E flat 7, like I'm doing here. Our next measure is F7. So I have to think, how do I lead into F7? And one way of doing that is just through the cycle of fifths or with chromaticism. So I'm going E flat chromatically into D. I think D is a fifth of G and G is a fifth of C. And then that's 4 chords, which leads me into F. And now I'm on F and my next chord is D7. So I need to think, okay, F7 needs to lead into D7. So I'm going to do more with the chromaticism of F, E, E flat into D. So F7, E7, E flat 7, jump up to a higher E flat 7 into D7. And then this D7 goes D, C, A, F sharp to G. And I'm going to harmonize that with D7, C diminished, A diminished, F sharp minor as chromaticism going into G minor. So let me play this second grouping of 4 measures. So you have B flat 7, and that leads us into G minor. When I get to G minor, I'm going to do a similar walk up that I did for the F7. So I have G, A, B flat, B, C. And then I'm going to harmonize that with G minor, A minor. You can think of this as G minor over B flat, B7 going into C7, and then C7, my bass line here would be C, G, and then going into E, C, F, C, G, E, C, F. And with the chords we have C7, G7, C over E, back to the C7 into F over C. Again, this is all in the PDF, so if you guys are getting overwhelmed, just check out the PDF. I have notation and tab for that. So you have, and now this is that turnaround part. So we have F7, D7 to A diminished, and then our G minor, and then our C7, I'm doing C over G, C7 into F7. You guys might have caught the lick at the front from one of my other videos. So that is walking bass lines on guitar. I will be starting a course going into jazz, blues in many different contexts, soloing with etudes, transcriptions, listening practice, some different ways of comping through in F blues. So if you guys are interested, this is for beginners and intermediate jazz guitarists, people who want to get some more fundamentals on blues. It will be a full-fledged program, like 4 to 6 week program. You guys can sign up for the waiting list in the description below. All right, guys, thanks for checking out this video. Like and subscribe. If you guys want to comment below any other topics, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.